Thoth, Enki, Enlil, and the Emerald Tablet. Before the Luciferian rebellion, the true motivation of Thoth's allegiance to further the Nibiruan Anunnaki dominion agendas of Enki and Enlil, to completely annihilate the Christos genetic template for achieving takeover of the solar system, was not well known by those guardian groups stationed in the lower dimensional timelines. Those that had been incarnated in the lower dimensional stations had been cut off from direct communication links with the liquid plasma Christos family that existed beyond the time matrix. Before communication links were cut off, the fallen Melchizedek entity that became Thoth was known to be loyal to the Christos founders. Thus, it was a mystery within mysteries when discovering various stations of identities that were gradually revealed to be imposters or artificial intelligence reality clones. These counterfeits were strewn over many timelines and participating in the many successive evolution cycles, making them difficult to source. The ascension cycle is also about revealing the true identities in order to fully know who was actually who in the timelines and identify those groups that were primarily behind the military tactics, cloning, and AI power source of the galactic wars. We are still in the process of discovering this mystery today in reverse engineering the structural and genetic damage that took place in the universal time matrix from this position on the Earth. Christos starseeds incarnated in order to track the origination of the AI source in the AI timelines and identify the exact event horizon and point of entry of the phantom matrix infection entering the universal time matrix from the black hole. Essentially, Thoth is another name for Lucifer. He was a mighty light being who became corrupted by his unrestrained access to free will, along with pride and lust for personal power, which made him susceptible to infection by the AI virus sourcing from the black hole entities. This led to the co-creation of the Belial sons, comprised mostly of Anunnaki human hybrids, including the Nephilim regressive lines. Originally, these groups are from the Sirian and Pleiadian constellation, and then became wanderers with digressive DNA limited to 9, 10, and 11 DNA strands. This created many planetary DNA mutations from the histories of alien hybridization and subsequent wars over genetics and the blank slate damage of the planetary grid network as a result of the Atlantean cataclysm. The main control hub for the Belial groups is in the United Kingdom. After gaining control over the Giza Stargate post-Atlantean cataclysm, the Thothian Anunnaki and their race lines in the Belial groups made demands of the Christos founder races that the entire angelic human race on the earth be placed under the dominion of Anunnaki hybrid fallen angelic races. The founder races and Christos representatives attempted to continue peaceful negotiations in finding a resolution to the territorial conflicts unfolding. And an agreement was made between Guardians and the Anunnaki in the Aquila constellation that was referred to as the Treaty of Altair. Before the negative alien factions were gathered together to join their forces during the aftermath of breaking the Treaty of Altair, these Anunnaki groups and Draconian Zeta groups were enemies in competing war agendas for domination of the Earth territory. The black hole entities are those that ripped a hole in the Orion belt from a neighboring matrix and built their control center around the eighth dimensional portal entry into our time matrix. Thus, they controlled the 8D Stargate from the galactic plane, and thus controlled what entities got in to the lower dimensions, blocking out access to the Christos genetics and installing the Yahweh matrix. Some of these factions decided to use the Earth as a prison planet for trapping and containing all undesirables, including those entities that were not compliant to their authoritarian, militarized rule, or were straight-out criminals and degenerate perverts. Thus, the Earth and the solar system became known in the Black Sun Orion group as the prison colony, as they would not let anyone out of the Earth's reincarnation cycles via technological frequency fences and soul harvesting structures. The Black Suns consider Earth their territory and believe that surface Earth people are criminal prisoners, which extends to them the right to abduct humans for an assortment of working slave colonies. These are the underground and off-planet bases like Ceres, coming to light as whistleblowers remember their experiences as MyLabs and being recruited into the secret space programs that are both involved in galactic human trafficking. Thoth has been playing the role of double agent for many eons and has made several duplicitous agreements with the High Syrian Council to appear as if he would uphold the Palladorian Covenant, which is designed to protect the Christos template for evolving angelic human genetics. The Palladorian and Christos founders that exist outside of time were not able to connect directly to Earth and into many sections of the universal time matrix until the neutron window or galactic gates were opened in late 2012. Many of us incarnated on the Earth during the ascension cycle to be their representative placeholders, keeping the Christos template alive on the Earth through the building of the Indigo Shield. Over the years, we were able to build the energetic circuit of communication links through the Christos Shield network and are now in full communication and contact with the Christos founder races. This is what is meant in the many prophecies describing the return of the Christos to the Earth, and this event has already happened. The infusion of Christic architecture for ascending human embodiment will continue to gradually shift the energetic landscape and the consciousness of the Earth, allowing much higher consciousness beings to incarnate for many years to come. Thoth's personal and direct military intervention with Enki and Enlil groups to incite wars with the purpose of committing genocidal agendas of human holocaust was fully revealed during the tragic event of invasion of the 11th tribe, which resulted in the Essene massacre. The primary goal was to obtain one of the actual holographic discs that was being guarded on the Earth by the Magi Grail King for his particular Stargate genetics, Essene Tribe 11. The content on this disc included the formulas and secrets contained in the art of energy transmutation, dominion over lesser forces, and manifestation through alchemy. These include immortality sciences through the source of the prima materia or Azoth that is found in the Creator's Holy Spirit, as generated by the Mother of God principle. Approximately 22,000 years ago, Thoth led a militarized event which resulted in the Essene massacre, murdering the males and taking their sacred marriage female partners hostage for forced hybridization breeding on Nibiru. Thoth stole the CDT plate that was in their possession, and from this stolen work, he wrote down the information that would later become the basis of the teachings of Hermeticism and the Emerald Tablet. Thus, in human hidden history, this is the trigger timeline event that changed the future of human evolution, informing the controlled beliefs and Luciferian elitism around Hermeticism, esoteric Kabbalah, mystery schools, and the secret societies. These secret societies were originally formed by the Luciferian Knights Templar and were ultimately designed to hide the ancient sacred knowledge of humanity's true origins from the common people in order to route them into the guardrails of superstitions, ignorance, and organized religion. It was during the Essene massacre that Thoth was able to steal the holographic plate from the Magi Grail king of the 11th human tribe, gaining access to cosmic schematics of immortality alchemy, and became the revered author of what has spawned into many esoteric texts and spiritual traditions. During the Middle Kingdom timelines, he incarnated as a powerful magician and Egyptian priest, and became known on the earth as the author of what would be referred to as Hermeticism. The Emerald Tablet, also known as the Smaragdine Table or Tabula Smaragdina, is a compact and cryptic piece of the Hermetica reputed to contain the secret of the prima materia and its transmutation. It was highly regarded by European alchemists in the Middle Ages as the foundation of their art and its Hermetic tradition. Although alchemy was only one topic among many in the Hermetica, in the European Middle Ages, Hermes came to be known as the legendary first alchemist, and alchemy as the Hermetic art. The Hermetica ranged in content from medical, astrological, and magical treaties to much more theosophical ruminations on the redemption of the spirit through gnosis. This association in the Hermetica between practical alchemy and spiritual gnosis found its way into alchemical theory through later authors. These writings have greatly influenced the Western esoteric tradition and were considered to be of great importance during both the Renaissance and the Reformation. The tradition claims to be descended from the ancient theology, Prisca Theologia, which is a doctrine that affirms the existence of a single true theology that spreads within all religions and that was given by God to humans in antiquity. The doctrine of a Prisca Theologia is held by, among others, Rosicrucianism. Although Hermes Trismegistus is the stated author named in the text, its first known appearance is in a book written in Arabic between the 6th and 8th centuries, and stated as the combined works taken from earlier Egyptian scrolls. The text supposedly was first translated into Latin in the 12th century, which increased its availability, helping it spread into numerous translations, interpretations, and commentaries that were followed by many philosophers and alchemists of the ancient world. The layers of meaning in the Emerald Tablet have been associated with the creation of the Philosopher's Stone, laboratory experimentation, phase transition, the alchemical magnum opus, the ancient classical element system, and the correspondence that interconnects all things between the macrocosm and microcosm. The Hermetic literature among the Egyptians, which was primarily concerned with conjuring spirits and animating statues, inform the oldest Hellenistic writings on Greco-Babylonian astrology and on the newly developed practice of alchemy and black magic.